Party affiliation?
I'm a Democrat.
Okay, and you've always been a Democrat?
Yeah.
I am a Republican.
Affiliation?
Democrat.
Has it always been that way?
Yes, Democrat.
Democrat.
Have you always been a Democrat?
Yes,
Is there any circumstance where you would vote outside your party?
I have.
What? When?
A couple of different races, local and national presidential elections, I voted Republican.
Get most of your political information.
Well, before the RNC and the DNC, I would say my coworkers, my parents, and BuzzFeed. But I think I got a lot of what I needed to know from the recent conventions. I do think I don't get it from Twitter. I don't trust Twitter. I don't get it from Facebook because people are just looking to fight.
I would have to say online on my phone.
Yeah.
Basically, news alerts.
Okay. Do you often engage in political debates online or no?
No.
Yeah, I just feel like the television, most news networks, they have their agenda, and if you just keep listening to one news source over and over and over again, it just sort of creates this like echo chamber where you just keep hearing the same things over and over again, and then you start to think you're right because of it, and no one's right in politics. They just have a different set of experiences.
I read the New York Times, and I read a lot of articles that people link on Facebook.
Okay.
Bunch of different sources: television, radio, read.
Do you often engage in political debate online or in person?
Never online, because you don't know who you're dealing with.
Do you trust the promises made to you by the candidate you support?
No. Okay. Yes and no. Yes, in the sense that I can only hope that they fulfill the promises that they've made, but at the end of the day, a politician is a politician, ...
To an extent, yes. Because I would say that Donald Trump is an extreme kind of person. I do think that he does stick to the beliefs that he's held from, like, however many years, like 30 years from now, you could say. I think that he sticks to what he knows, and he kind of says whatever is on his mind, censored or not. I mean, I can respect that.
Yes.
I mean, like, you can't ever trust 100% of what any politician is saying. You look for the person that fits the majority of your viewpoints, and you deal with the baggage that comes with it. So, like, I don't think anybody believes 100% of the stuff that comes out of either candidate's mouth. And if they say they do, I think they're just lying. But
yeah.
No.
Why is that?
Because I think that they'll kind of say anything to
Yeah.
get elected.
I don't really judge by promises. I judge by what I think a candidate has done and can do. I don't expect our candidates to promise and deliver. I expect them to govern.
That's what we're talking about.
What's really important to me right now is that, and it's a problem that's been going on in the United States, is that police officers need to respect ethnicities, whether you're white, black, Asian, whatever, need to respect a police officer. And I think it's both their faults. I don't think it's one over the other. And what's going on right now with the cop killings is the most absurd and upsetting thing I've seen since 9/11. And I really...
Most important issue.
A few of them are one.
Okay. Well, the gun violence is one. All the racial issues that are going on is another one.
Yeah.
All the scandals that are now coming out. Like Hillary with her emails and everything, and then Trump. I think something just happened with him recently about
Citizens United and money in politics. I feel like this election's proven it shapes things more than we really care for. Whether you agree with Hillary or Trump or not, I think the influence of money is almost tangible in this election. We can kind of feel it. So I think that overturning that is a big deal, and that's probably my biggest deal. And also the private prison industry, which up until recently Hillary was in tacit support of, and recently has come out against. So that's sort of one of the reasons why I'm leaning more towards Hillary in this election, because those two of my bigger issues she's now addressing.
To you.
I think it's really important to keep Obamacare around,
Mhm.
and that's a lot of why I am a Hillary supporter, even though I was a Bernie supporter.
Mhm.
Because I think it's really important to keep what we
People
have.
discussing that are most important.
I think the number one policy is the economy. I know there's a lot of concern around issues related to our national security. I think those are big issues, but I'm less concerned about ISIS. It's a small group that's found out a way to tap into the psyche of people who are dissatisfied with their lot in life. I think many of those people are very unstable to begin with and may act out on it. But when you think of the context of ISIS, while it represents a very scary new adversary, I don't compare it to like world conflicts that we've had in the past, like World War II or World War I, Vietnam, where you've had actual armies that you're up against, actual countries that you're fighting with. I think ISIS represents something very scary, but not on the same scale.